Do you think you can become a Nazi? No, I'm serious. Do you think you can become the most brutal organization that committed the most infamous of crimes? Of course, I expect every one of you to say no. There's no way that I, a normal human being, can become the emotionless killing machine of a Nazi. Right? This is a question that Professor Stanley Milgram wanted to answer. After seeing the hideous crime committed at World War II, he realized that most of those people who committed these acts did not feel any guilt, and that order was essential. So, you're wondering, can normal people like you and me obey authority and cause great harm to others simply because we're told to do so? This experiment, the Milgram shock experiment, literally shocked the entire world. So, let's find out together. To accomplish the impossible task of measuring human brutality without harming others, Milgram first designed a scary-looking shock generator, an electronic device with 30 toggles switches labeled from voltage level starting from 30 and all the way up to voltage 450. While no shocks were actually given, everything else is simulated perfectly so that the participant really believe that they are conducting a shock. Next comes the ingenious part of his design. There are three crucial characters in the experiment. The experimenter, usually Milgram himself or his colleague, who are dressed to look like authority figures, the teacher, the actual volunteer participant consisting of 40 average white males, and the learner, who was an actor disguised as a participant. When the actual participant first entered the laboratory, he was paired up with an actor participant, and both were told that this was a study on the effect of punishment on learning. Then, through a rigged process, the actual participant will always become the teacher, and the actor participant will always become the learner. After, the learner and the teacher were guided in a room where the learner was strapped to a chair with an electrode, and both were told that the teacher, which is the actual participant, will have to administer an electric shock each time the learner responded incorrectly and move up one level. Finally, the experimenter and the teacher will move into the same room where they could speak to the learner, they could hear the learner, but they cannot actually see the learner. During the actual part of the experiment, all of the responses of the fake participant were the same as the voltage increased, but also the fake participant will also shout his discomfort from the other room in a pre-arranged format.
90 volts, 150 volts. Answer, force. I got a shock, 180 volts. 225 volts. The word is noise. 300 volts.
I absolutely refuse to answer anymore. Get me out of here. You can't hold me here. Get me out. Get me out of here.
Continue. The next word is green, please.
Green.
Most of the participants will of course turn to the experimenter at some point for guidance who will never continue the shock. When this happened, the experiment ordered the participant to continue in a series of commands. Command 1. Please continue. Command 2. The experiment requires you to continue. Command 3. It is absolutely essential that you continue. Command 4. You have no other choice. You must go on. Eventually, after the 300 volts, the participant would turn silent. But nobody would do a voltage device that could kill a person, right? What would you do in this situation? Could you possibly imagine you killing a person just because you were told to do so? If you said no, then you are on the side of Yale's University-based PhD psychologist who predicted that only 1 out of 100 people will deliver a maximum shock. So, is that the 100%. That is the percentage of people in the group of 40 that went to 300 volts. 65%. 26 out of the 40 participants into the maximum shock valve, 450 volt. A voltage that could have easily killed anyone. Of course, most of the participants were neither calm or happy about what they were doing, as many exhibited signs of extreme stress and conservative demand, and even become angry at the experiment. But they still obeyed.
So what if something's happened and they have to talk to something?
The experiment requires that we continue. Go on.
Don't the man's help mean anything?
Whether the learner likes it or not, we
But he
must.
might be dead in there. I mean, some people can't take the shock, sir.
Please
I
continue.
don't intend to be rude, but I mean, I think you should look in on them.
Whether
All you gotta do is look at the door. If I don't get no answer, no noise, something I think has happened to the gentleman in there, sir.
we must continue. Go on, please.
You're gonna keep giving what, 450 volts every shot now?
That's correct. Continue. The next word is white.
White, 450 volts.
So what can be drawn from this experiment? Well, it seems that anyone can become a Nazi, or at least commit atrocities. Many of us seems anything able to even harm another human being if an authoritative figure told us. Remember, these are average, normal people, not statistic or cruel individual in any way, who chose to participate in a program on learning. Yet, they were able to violate their own morality and society's ethic under something as simple as a command. This was the truth derived from this experiment. Anyone could commit anything under authority. Anyone could be evil. And unfortunately, this isn't the last time. That shows the power of obedience. It was the 26th of September 1983, right at the height of the Cold War, where the tension between the USSR and the US was at its highest. Shortly after midnight, somewhere near the Serapolov 15 bunker near Moscow, which housed the command center for the Soviet early warning satellite, set off and detected 5 missiles coming towards the USSR. Few were the protocol. If you press the button, the Soviet Union's strategy was an immediate nuclear counterattack against the United States. You were the final gateway. You grew up in Russia all your life. I have received doctrine about how the wicked America, ever since you're little, your glorious motherland was about to be completely destroyed by an enemy that has been taught ever since you were born, and a single button press could avenge and bring justice to the enemy. You expected that it was a false alarm, but what if it isn't? What if you don't press the button? Then you're responsible for the destruction of your entire country. According to Milgram, you would have definitely pressed the button. The experiment demonstrated that normal people will commit atrocity under authority. But you are a soldier. And when you're a soldier, you're conditioning yourself to be disposable, following authority and the majority, and practicing not thinking independently. Furthermore, you don't even know the true breadth of your action. You only know that a single button press could avenge and bring justice to the enemy that you've been told to destroy for your entire life. So would you press the button? Even after seeing the results of this experiment. So, would you press the button? It was a false alarm, but did you press the button? Well, if you did, you just destroyed humanity using the 50,000 nuclear arsenal that each country had.
These are the stakes. To make a world in which all of God's children can live, or to go into the dark, we must either love each other or we must die.
But hey, we're still here. The Cold War ended, the USSR dissolved. The world did not get destroyed, because of you. But who are you, really? Who is the person that saved humanity? Well, it is a name that you probably haven't heard of before. His name is Stanislas Petrov. Stanislas Petrov is truly a nobody. He is just like the rest of us, normal, plain, ordinary. He hasn't accomplished anything special, and even after the incident, he believed that he did not have anything historical. But he saved everyone. So had Petrov followed his training, believed that his motherland was right, and carried out the protocol, the world we know it would cease to exist. But he, by going against the crowd and thinking for himself, saved the entire humanity. That day was our judgment day, where every single human's bad decision led up to that point and rested on the decision of a single, ordinary human being. So let's be thankful that he chose to spare us. After getting the shocking results of the experiment, Milgram proposed that the reason for the action is because of a concept known as the fusion of responsibility, that we somehow transfer responsibility to an authority figure. This way, we can swiftly carry out the action without the same amount of guilt. From the participant's perspective, it is the notion that if somebody tells us to do something, it is their fault.
I mean, who's going to take the responsibility if anything happens to that gentleman?
I'm responsible for anything that happens here. Continue, please.
All right, next one, slow. Wrong.
After Milgram's result came out to the public, the whole world has accepted that we're far more immoral than we think. And under the right circumstances, we can commit acts that violate our moral standard. However, Petrov defied Milgram's experiment's result. And that is under the circumstances that he was not only a soldier, but he did not know the full breadth of his decision. So how did he do it? How did he defeat authority and humanity's innate tendency to obey? After the original shock experiment, several different variations has been done, and it seemed like while certain features are changed, less participants went for the maximum shock value. For example, the learner was in the same room as the teacher, the highest shock rate dropped to 40%. When the teacher and the learner's hand were touching, the highest shock rate dropped to 30%. When the participants were allowed to punish the learner by using any shock value they wished, no one ever pressed the switch higher than 45 volts. These variations shows that when the humanity of the person being shocked was increased, obedience decreased. Similarly, when the authority of the experimenter decreased, so did obedience. However, these two factors were in fact even stronger in Petrov's case, and it seems like he only uses logic to determine that if the US were carry out an attack, there would be have to be more than 5 nukes, therefore stating as a false alarm. But unfortunately, we may never know the true intention of Petrov, as he died on May 19, 2017 with no publicity. The press did not even report it until 2 months later. Perhaps the most important man in the 20th century was so obscure that it took a month before people knew that he was gone. Perhaps it was fitting like that, as he was just like the rest of us, plain, normal, and ordinary. But on a day, in an unexpected event, he represented all of humanity on that judgment day. All the bad, all the good. During those few minutes, I believed that he is not only the most powerful human alive, but the most heroic man in history. For that few moments, he and he alone controlled all of the nuclear arsenal in the world and thus fate of humanity. But he trusted his logic and did the impossible task of defeating humanity's nature. His decision represented all of humanity at that time, and we as a species get to live on another day. We defeated fate on that day with only the effort of a single person, But Stanis Petrov is truly a nameless savior. What does this all mean? Well, to put it simply, we're all immortal. We're creatures that's able to cast away our humanity, morality, and ethics just by simply under our authority. However, I believe by seeing the example of Petrov, it shows us humanity's ability to learn obedience, defend authority, and ultimately be moral. On that fateful day, in an unexpected event, a nobody saved everybody, and that nobody was able to surpass everybody. For him, we're grateful. By sharing this today, I hope to enlighten the world a bit more about the threat of obedience. And hopefully it will allow us to take steps to guard ourselves like Petrov did, thus making this world a little bit better.
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I like to teach the world to sing. Sing with me. Perfect harmony. Perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a home and keep it company. That's the real. I like to teach the world to sing. To perfect harmony. Perfectly. And I like to buy the world a coat and keep it company. It's the real thing. What the world wants today is the real thing.